During the Gears 5 section of this year's Microsoft E3 conference, I found myself thinking, does anyone actually even care about Gears of War anymore? I mean, I'm sure there's a few die-hard fans still out there. Hello to you lot scowling at me from the back of the room there. But compared to the days of the Xbox 360, when Gears of War was one of the big franchises, the buzz for Gears 5 seems almost non-existent. I remember the launches for the original 3 games being these huge events that people counted the days until, but now, well, let's just say, I don't envisage seeing many long queues outside of the stores if any of them decide to do midnight openings. So what then, if anything, is there to look forward to in Gears of War 5? Well, here are 7 reasons I've come up with to explain why Gears of War 5 might not be a Gears of War. Nice!
This is a wild game of survival.
Okay, so first up, even the Coalition must be getting a little bit bored of the Gears of War series by now, because it can't even be bothered to write out the full title anymore. Just Gears 5, is it? Okay then, that's kind of lazy of you, the Coalition, but whatever. Although, wait a minute, what if the title has been shortened for a reason? You see, while the first few games centred on big conflicts, aka wars, this time around the gameplay trailer suggests that the storyline may be way more personal, focusing more on Kate Diaz and her search for answers than it does on full-scale military assaults. At the end of Gears of War 4, Kate inherits her grandmother's amulet, which, ooh, shock twist, seems to show the symbol of Mira, the Locust Queen. Therefore, it stands to reason that there are going to be some big, dark family secrets uncovered as Kate goes AWOL in order to find out her connection to the enemy hordes.
Screw your order! This isn't about you, it's about me!
Now, obviously, this is all just conjecture on my part, and I'm kind of guessing based on what's been shown in the few cinematic trailers that have been released, but still, this seems like it's going to be a much more personal story than before. Now, I'm sure the stakes will still be the end of the world high, but with a heavier emphasis on a personal journey in this one, I might actually find myself empathising with the characters for once, which is something I haven't done since Dom sacrificed himself at the end of Gears of War 3.
Never thought it would end like this, huh? Huh, Maria? Dom! No!
Oh man, why did they have to use Maddworld? Oh, I'm choking up here. Oh, and on a side note, the main campaign can be played in 3-player split-screen co-op. So if the storyline does turn out to be a bit bobbins, well, at least you can invite some mates around your house and entertain yourself by punching them in the arm if things get a bit boring. Huh, maybe things like this are the reason why I don't have many friends. This here gameplay that you're watching right now is for a mode called Escape, and this is the only mode in Gears 5 that we've actually seen some proper footage of. In fact, because of that reason, most of the gameplay in this video will be Escape gameplay only. So if you haven't guessed already, Escape is a brand new co-op mode for 3 players that sees you trying to take out enemy hives from within. But to do that, you first have to get nommed by a monster, burst out of an egg sac thingy, and then find a shower to wash all that tomato puree out of your tash. So anyway, escape mode isn't for the faint of heart, because as soon as you burst free from your cocoon like some kind of beefy butterfly, you immediately plant a timed explosive that, upon detonation, unleashes a green cloud of venom that turns everything it touches into a big old pile of blistery deadness. Oh yikes, I wouldn't like to be a window cleaner in those parts. Ain't no squeegee big enough to get off chunks like that. Ooh. And so, with a cloud of green death nipping at your heels and only a pistol and a knife to your name, you and your squad will need to push forwards through hordes of locusts and swarm in order to reach the exit and survive. Or alternatively, you could just end up being smooshed under the spiked clubs of an angry warden, like this poor chap here. Oh. The cloud of venom creates a constant threat that reminds me slightly of the shrinking zone mechanic of a battle royale game. It's a nice way to keep the action constantly moving forwards, and I'm sure it also brings with it some quite intense moments of being stuck between a gassy rock and a locusty hard place. Thankfully, there are a few ways to protect yourself. You can upgrade your guns as you progress, each character has an ultimate they can use, and there are sporadic safe rooms to find which give you a chance to take a breather and restock your ammo, which is of course a big Left 4 Dead vibe.
Ready? What comes next? Shock and awe.
The best offense is a good defense. You're good at this.
Whilst escape mode is meant to be replayed countless times, don't go thinking you'll be able to learn the layouts and master each map. Approximately once a week, the Coalition will be uploading a brand new labyrinth for you to tackle, and each one is created in the new map builder mode that you can use too. Unfortunately, the only outlet with footage of that mode at the moment is IGN, and I don't think they'd be too happy with me if I stole it, so you'll have to head over to their channel if you want to check it out. But basically, it's a 2D map editor that lets you arrange tiles of differing shapes and sizes and then customize them with enemy and weapon placements in order to build your own crazy mazes. Although, who am I kidding? 90% of those maps are just going to be different variations on a huge spunking willy anyway. If you want to share your creations with others, you'll need to play your way through them successfully first. Once you've proven that it's possible to beat it, your map will then be validated and you'll be able to share it with others, Super Mario Maker style. No idea if there'll be any censorship filters for maps based on spunking willies though. I guess we'll find out that at launch.
I'm reloading.
Gears of War's Versus mode has always been a pretty awesome time, and although no footage of Gears 5's take on it has been released yet, there's still plenty for Versus fans to get excited about. You see, coming up in July, the Coalition will be running a Gears 5 tech test, which anyone can take part in as long as they own the Xbox Game Pass or have pre-ordered the game. This tech test will give us our first hands-on with a brand new and super exciting competitive game type called Arcade. Okay, so the boring name is giving nothing away, but according to the Gears 5 website, Arcade is a frenetic experience built for jump-in, over-the-top fun, which could mean bloody anything, to be honest, so I've got my fingers crossed for a Gears of War karting mode.
I need all the ammo I can get.
Warning, warning. Contamination detected. Doors opening in 3, 2, 1.
Finally, back to it.
Guess who's back? Back again. It's the Horde. A bloody gen. Yep, what would a Gears game be without a Horde mode, eh? Well, it would probably be the original Gears of War, because that didn't have a Horde mode either, and to be fair, that game was ace. But still, coming up in August, eager beavers like yourselves will be able to go hands-on with Gears 5's Horde mode at Gamescom. Once more, details are pretty thin on the ground here, but I've spotted a bunch of new locusts in this escape gameplay that should make your battles with the Horde feel as fresh as a daisy. I'm only bringing up this next point because I'm super nostalgic about the first Gears of War and just how bloody goddamn good it looked. The OG Gears of War was one hell of a looker and its graphics still hold up to this day, so I can't wait to see what Gears 5 looks like in 4K and HDR on my big TV. Will these 4K visuals be as mind-blowing now as the originals were back in 2006? I'm going to guess no, because all games look amazing in this day and age, but according to the Coalition, each mode will run at 60 frames per second, so all your chainsawing should look as silky smooth as if you were using a hot knife to cut through butter. If butter had organs, that is, and if it cried out in pain when you cut it. And finally, last but not least, the T-800 from Terminator Dark Fate is going to be in the game as a character skin for anybody who pre-orders. Now, I can't decide whether or not this crossover is super cool or utterly stupid, but hey, at least it's not boring. So, what do you lot think? Escape mode sounds cool, and infinite user-made levels is always a good thing, but I'm still struggling to get hyped about anything else in Gears 5. Even with this new mode, it still feels like more of the same for a franchise that maybe should have ended on a high back in 2011. Let us know what you think about Gears 5 in the comments below. Do give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to Eurogamer for daily videos about video games. And whatever you do, don't cover your face in tomato puree because it's smelly, and I think I might have stained my skin red. Great.
Find their boss!